What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome to Red Bandcast here on the Red Bandcast YouTube channel. And tonight, whatever it is, we're going to be talking about Hocus Pocus, one of our favorite Halloween movies.
I love Hocus Pocus.
Yeah. This is going to start a little bit of a series that I'd like to do. There may be more of these videos. This may be the only one. But it's going to be Halloween Essentials. And I want to sort of do it leading up to Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Movies that I think my viewers, at least, should watch every Halloween. And it should be fun. So we're going to start out with Hocus Pocus. Now, Sarah's going to tell us a little bit about Hocus Pocus because she's sort of the expert here.
Yeah, you can just get out. Okay. Hocus Pocus came out in the summer, not around Halloween, in the summer of 1993. Isn't that a cool fact?
Yeah.
It is marketed by, I think it was Disney. Yeah, it was produced by Disney Pictures, and was distributed by Buena Vista. Let me tell you a little bit about the plot. Okay, so we go back to 1693 in Salem, Massachusetts. On Halloween, there are 3 witches. They're all sisters. Their names are Winifred, Sarah, and Mary Sanderson. And they are making a potion, a spell, to put on young people to suck the life out of them so they can have immortality. So this causes them to steal a Puritan? Did you say that they're Puritan?
Yeah, I'd say
a Puritan girl from a nearby village named Emily. And her older brother named Thackeray Binks goes after her, and they end up sucking the life out of Emily, and they get younger, and in return they turn Binks into a cat, a black cat, of course. And then the townspeople find out, and they're like, yo, that's not really cool of you to do that, we're gonna hang you, but what happened to Thackeray? They're like, I don't know, a cat's got my tongue. Anyway, so they die, but then right before they're hanged, Winifred's book of spells pops open, and she puts a spell on themselves and the town and their house, saying, on All Hallows Eve, a virgin is going to light the black flame candle, and they're going to come back from the dead. Well, fast forward 300 years to 1993, there is this family that moves from Los Angeles to Salem, Massachusetts. It consists of a mom and a dad, a teenage boy named Max, and a 8-year-old girl named Danny. I am assuming she's 8 years old. I'm not entirely sure now. Anyway, so they move there, and Max is not really thrilled about it, and he's not excited about Halloween as everyone else is. And then there's a girl at school that he meets named Allison, and Allison's, like, really hot. And he's like, oh my gosh, kind of like how you feel when you look at me, right?
Yeah.
Aww. Anyway, and so he ends up having to take Danny trick-or-treating for Halloween, and he's not thrilled about it. And then he comes upon Allison's house, and he's kind of known in his school and class not being a believer in the Sanderson sister myths. So they end up going to the house, this witch's house, and in an effort to impress Allison, he lights the black flame candle, and yes, he is a virgin, and the witches are back. So the cat also, Thackeray Binks, has immortality. That was the other part of the spell, is he would have to stay a cat forever, living with the guilt of not being able to save his sister, which is really sad.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Really
anyway,
sad.
So they have to stop the witches throughout the night from taking every child in the town of Salem and sucking the life out of them. That's what it's about, basically.
Yeah. So, basically, it's an interesting dark comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually some stuff in here that's kind of creepy. The zombie in it is really interesting.
Yeah, there is a zombie, by the way.
Yeah. So you got a lot of the bases covered. I mean, you got witches, black cats, zombies. I mean, this has got a lot of the Halloween stuff to it.
Teenagers, the works.
Yeah.
Got it all in there.
Yeah. So for me, I remember watching this movie when I was really young. And I believe I watched it on the Disney Channel, which...
Disney Channel.
The Disney Channel, yes. That's what we called it. Again, we're rednecks. Anyway.
I'm not.
I'm redneck. You're not. Frick.
You might be a redneck if you call it the Disney Channel.
Oh my gosh. So I remember watching this when I was a kid, and I really liked it then. I haven't watched it since, really. Until a couple weeks ago, we went up to her house for, just a little while to stay.
It was fall break.
Yeah, it was fall break. And we watched Hocus Pocus, and I had lots of fun. It was very fun to watch it with her dad next to me, talking to me about like aspects about it that apparently I didn't know.
Yeah. And what's funny is you saw the uncut version.
Yes.
That's not seen on the Disney Channel, which surprised you.
Because there are a lot of sexual references in there that I wasn't expecting. There's a little girl. There's a little girl who says,
girl Danny. Like, she was teasing Max, like, talking to his crush, Allison, like, he's like, you're wearing a pretty dress. You got, like, she said, I forget what she calls it.
It really accentuates your cha-chas.
Cha-chas. She's like, Max really likes them.
Which implies that he has talked to his little sister about how much he likes this girl's boobs.
Seriously.
Thank you.
Way to go, Disney.
This was
Disney,
fantastic.
Way to be.
Also, a small, little-known fact, this actually was going to air on the Disney Channel, but they thought that it was good enough
to put it in theaters.
Yeah, to put it in theaters. So, that's, I think, really interesting.
Now to talk about my background with this movie. I first watched this movie when I was a little kid and was scared of it at first. Mainly because after I watched it, it was like around the fall, like right before Halloween, and I was out in my backyard, and I think I heard the neighbors laughing, and there was this one lady who had this really obnoxious laugh, like, it sounded like a witch's cackle. And I was like, the Sanderson witches are going to get me. No. I was scared, but I've watched it every year since, or close to every year since, and it is a staple for me. It can't be Halloween without Hocus Pocus on. So yeah. Fantastic. I'm a very big enthusiast. This is the only Halloween movie he will ever need.
Sure.
For the normal person, this is the only Halloween movie he will ever need.
Oh, so the legions of horror fans that watch our channel, they're not real people? They're not normal people?
They're not normal people, no.
Oh my gosh, that's a little horrible. But that's okay. I love her anyway. So, I think the big thing to really talk about with this movie is the cast. They're the best part of the movie.
They have an all-star cast playing, or at least the trio of the Sanderson sisters, with the main sister, Winifred, is Bette Midler.
Over the top as heck, but wonderfully over the top.
She's supposed to be over the top, and she says that this is her favorite role that she's ever done, or at least up until the point of that interview, and we agree.
Oh yeah.
she's amazing in it.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
She really embodies it.
Then there's Kathy Najimy of King of the Hill.
And Sister Act. And many other things, I'm sure of.
Yeah.
So she's the most, like, versatile actress out there. There's a nun, a redneck wife, and now a witch.
Yeah.
She's a good witch. And then we have Sarah Jessica Parker looking the prettiest that Sarah Jessica Parker has ever looked.
I agree.
As a witch.
Yeah, and basically it's the best thing she's ever been in, I think. I really dislike her.
And she's true to most characters that she's played. The very pretty, kind of airheaded, makes out and flirts with every male on there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, can I play with him?
Although, alright, this is probably going to make us go a little bit long, but I do want to say that I think that when she says that, that can I play with him, that's really kind of disturbing, because I think it implies very illicit, horrifying sexuality in a Disney movie. So, also, let's talk a little bit.
Just to get through them really quick, the three, Max, Danny, and Allison, we haven't really heard of them since then. Is Omri Katz, Thora Birch, and Vanessa Shaw?
The one that we actually have heard from, I forgot to mention this, is Thora Birch. Thora Birch, of course, was in American Beauty. She quickly descended into a really crappy career where she had to star in a lot of sleazy roles. But in this, she's pretty good. She's pretty
She's
darn
a little annoying girl.
Mm-hmm.
Little sister.
Yeah.
But the one I really want to talk about is the cat, because this is an interesting casting here. They have it when he's not a cat. His physical body is played by Sean Murray, who is now in NCIS as McGee. But his voice is played by my favorite voice actor of all time, Jason Marsden. Not James Marsden, that's someone else. But Jason Marsden, he has like the best voice for voice acting ever. It's kind of raspy, very, like, it can convey a lot of different emotions. He's played Max Goof in the Goofy movies and probably any role that Max Goof has ever had. Haku in Spirited Away. He played the male lion Kovu in the Lion King 2, if you're weird like me and watched obscure Disney sequels. He is really good, and I like this. Not many people know that that's who's actually playing him.
Yeah, and Jason Marsden actually turns in a really good role here. He actually sounds really convincing as a Puritan sort of voice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's basically it on the cast, but the cast really is the big part of it. That's really what makes this movie shine. There's cheesy, over-the-top acting, but lovingly so. It's a wonderful type of over-the-top acting. Then, of course, we go on to a few of the technical things, and obviously, it's a Disney movie. Everything is, pretty good shape. Set design is really good. The director, Kenny Ortega, who went on to direct High School Musical, he does
good. Don't listen to what he says. It's good.
He does a really good job here, sort of conveying the gothic themes of the movie as well as, the comedic themes. He really balances it pretty well. This is a little bit more of a comedy than it is a horror, but that's okay for its purposes.
It's a Disney movie.
Yeah, exactly. And then a few things that I found really interesting.
He noticed a lot of stuff, like a lot of names when he was watching the opening credits, like when he watched it a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. He was like, "Whoa, that person's in here? Oh my gosh, I had no idea." And I was like, "You fangirling in there?"
Yeah, I am. So first off, Kenny Ortega directed the movie. We know about this. David Kirshner did the story for this movie. Also famous for doing a little bit of story work on Child's Play and producing, I think, at least the first 3 Child's Play movies. And I was really surprised about that and really interested. And it sort of drew me into the movie a little bit more now knowing that. Also, he produced the great movie from the 2000s, Frailty. So check that out if you haven't. And then the one that really surprised me was Mick Garris. Mick Garris is involved here. And then I look back on his film career, and one of the first things that he directed was a Disney monster movie in the 80s. I forget what it's called, but it's got a really good rating. It's like 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb, which is a really good rating. Yeah, but I've got to go back and watch that. But of course, Mick Garris is known for creating Masters of Horror, the TV show, and doing a lot of Stephen King adaptations for film and television. And I was very surprised, and he does a great job here. It's a really well-written script. It's over the top, it's funny, and it's exactly what you need for this type of year. Mm-hmm. If you want cheese...
Lots of cheese.
If you want over-the-top acting, if you want...
Great music.
Hammy dialogue. Yeah, great music.
It has a great song in there. It's like the classic song, I Put a Spell on You, but revved up and sung by Bette Midler. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's fantastic. I really love it. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I think that if you're going to watch any movie this October with anyone who's, not a huge horror fan. If you sort of want to, dip their toe into a little bit of the creepy stuff, but not immerse them in blood and guts, check out Hocus Pocus. I think you will be relatively happy
with it. And by the
it.
way, I am filming on my laptop, and so the it will be inverted if you see any of the text. But yeah, look at that. Can't even see it. Oh, shoot.
We tried.
This one. Oh, there you go. Kind of see it. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Is there anything else that you want to add for it?
Not really. I've got a recommendation. I think it's good. Out of stars, 5 stars.
10.
10 out of 5 stars?
Yes.
It's good. I'm gonna give it on
10.
a 5-star rating. I'm gonna give it 3.5, and that's a solid 3.5. If I were gonna do it out of 10, I'd give it a good 7, which is a really, really good review for me because you guys know how harsh I can be on certain things. I only give 7s on things that I really like.
I'm Steven. I didn't give Hocus Pocus a 3 out of 5.
Sure. Thanks for watching. Rock on. If you like, subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
It hasn't stopped.